What if I told you that Earth's recent invitation came from an entity even NASA struggles to define? A signal so intense that it commandeered every satellite on the globe and it wasn't directed at us. Stay with me, as what unfolds next will alter your perspective on the universe forever. The serene murmur of our planet's night sky was disrupted by an energy pulse of unprecedented scale. Radio telescopes worldwide began detecting something that had never been encountered before. A transmission so robust that it eclipsed the cosmic background itself, overshadowing the star's natural static. Yet this was not mere random noise or a lost signal emanating from the depths of space. It possessed structure. It conveyed intention. If you're intrigued by the enigma of 3D Atlas and yearn for more mind-bending tales from the cosmos, hit that like button to show the universe you're tuning in. Each click plays a role in sustaining the quest for the unknown. Do you know where these instruments traced the signal to? An object humanity thought it comprehended. 3 Atlas. The enigmatic interstellar visitor once assumed to be monitoring and managing Earth. However, tonight, its role shifted. It was no longer managing. It was broadcasting across all frequencies of the electromagnetic spectrum. Buried within these transmissions were not coordinates of Earth, but locations dispersed throughout the galaxy. Invitation protocols, specified planetary characteristics, and deep space telemetry were all woven into the data stream, leading to one harrowing conclusion. 3. Atlas was signaling to something, or someone, out there, and the scale of the energy it emitted defied everything our science could understand. The signal's intensity dwarfed even the mightiest transmitters crafted by humans, as if the entire planet had transformed into a relay beacon, sending a message across the stars. But to whom was this message intended, and what was it really conveying? This was not a basic call for communication. It was a summons, a beacon declaring that Earth had finished its preparation phase and was ready for what 3 Atlas referred to as Phase 2. Regardless of what this signified, one troubling fact became abundantly clear. 3 Atlas was no longer solitary. It had just beckoned the universe to come to Earth. Merely hours after the initial signal resonated through the void, deep space monitoring stations began to detect something that no simulation had foreseen: responses. Real answers, not mere echoes. Genuine, structured response signals emerged from across the Milky Way, responding almost instantaneously from 17 diverse locations scattered throughout every quadrant of the galaxy. Their energetic signatures displayed distinct geometric designs, deliberate evidence that 3 Atlas's call had indeed been acknowledged. Within 6 hours, humanity's night sky transformed into an interstellar switchboard. Each response adhered to a mathematical rhythm, a sequence of prime progressions and harmonious frequencies that confirmed one earth-shaking realization. These were not chance civilizations chancing upon our signal. They were coordinated and already aware of one another. The transmissions indicated that 3 Atlas had never been a solitary wanderer drifting through our solar system. It had been a scout, an advanced operative sent to prepare a world, ours, for what the data denoted as multi-systems convergence. Consider that, the first occasion in cosmic history that numerous intelligences would converge on a single planet, and Earth had just been appointed as their destination. Across global observatories, scientists pooled their findings, desperate for logical explanations, but the data continued to defy human reason. 73 days. That was the countdown derived from the transmissions, marking the interval until the convergence commenced. With each passing moment, the background hum of Earth's communication networks began to shift. Radio towers, satellites, and fiber optic systems started vibrating at frequencies for which they were never designed. Our technology was no longer solely ours. 3 Atlas had repurposed it into a planetary amplifier, a voice speaking not just for but from Earth. The message was unmistakable. The invitation had been sent, and the galaxy had just responded affirmatively. Yes, the realization dawned. Humanity's communication grid, once a symbol of global connectivity, was now beyond human control. Every satellite, Every radio tower and every digital network had morphed into a node of something exponentially grander. 3 Atlas had reconfigured our very planet into a broadcasting engine. But what exactly was being transmitted? The decoded packets unveiled 3 concerning transmissions, each more unsettling than the previous. The first comprised planetary resource inventories, an exact ledger detailing Earth's mineral wealth, energy assets, and atmospheric stability indexes. It served as a cosmic catalog entry advertising our world's physical resources to eavesdropping civilizations. Entire nations reduced to statistical assessments, as if humanity had already been evaluated for governance. The third encompassed reports on technological infrastructure, providing comprehensive overviews of human systems that had successfully adapted to cosmic management protocols, complete with dates, regions, and efficiency scores. Then came the final transmission, an upload that shattered every illusion of security. This time, it was not data. It was a timetable. Arrival coordination dates, orbital approach vectors, and precisely mapped surface landing zones across every continent. Each zone bore a sigil representing a different incoming civilization. We were no longer being contacted, we were being segmented, earmarked, and prepared. The scientific community quickly grasped the grave reality. This wasn't an invasion. It was calculated occupation executed with chilling precision. The signal no longer sought permission. It confirmed completion. Within 24 hours, every government on Earth had activated silent emergency protocols. Behind closed doors, leaders confronted what their scientists had long understood. There would be no defense, no negotiation, no delays. The network of 3 Atlas lay beyond human capability. Every attempt to isolate, interfere with, or obliterate the broadcasting frequencies faltered. The moment one tower was deactivated, 10 more activated through unknown subspace relays. And then came the undeniable evidence. The very sky began to shift. Astronomers started tracking luminous objects, adjusting their orbits with impossible precision. Objects the size of small cities, moving in synced formations that matched the arrival vectors embedded in the transmissions. Construction signals were detected on the dark side of the moon, while infrared satellites registered heat blooms from geometric structures rising where no human hands had constructed. Initially, military forces geared up for a strike, but by the second day, orders changed. Soldiers became guides, generals morphed into administrators. The human defense machinery was being repurposed to welcome the very entities it was established to repulse. Documents leaked from the depths of international agencies confirmed the unimaginable. Treaties were already being negotiated, not between countries, but between species. Former presidents and prime ministers were reassigned as human interface specialists, trained to manage communication with incoming cosmic authorities. Throughout it all, the same steady broadcast pulsed through the atmosphere, relentless and rhythmic, a signal that no one could quell. The message was lucid. Resistance was futile. Earth had silently surrendered. But the ultimate question that lingered was this: had humanity capitulated to alien power, or to a design intricately woven into a grand plan from the outset? For weeks, scientists speculated that the summoning concerned resources, minerals, energy, and territory. Yet when linguists and physicists finally deciphered the deeper layers of the transmission, they unearthed something no one was prepared for. It wasn't about conquest or colonization, it was about research. The decoded fragments portrayed Earth not as a planet, but as a laboratory. Humanity wasn't selected for its mining capabilities or construction efforts. It was chosen for its capacity to feel. According to 3 Atlas, human consciousness is rare, a mix of creativity, emotion, and self-awareness nearly extinct across the galaxy. For the civilizations that answered the call, these traits are invaluable. They are not here to wipe out humanity, but to examine and elevate it. The transmissions dubbed this a multi-species research convergence, with Earth as the central testing ground. What this implies is staggering. Our species doesn't face extermination. We stand on the brink of transformation. The incoming entities intend to help elevate human awareness beyond its biological and psychological limitations, reshaping it into forms capable of engaging in galactic consciousness itself. They perceive individuality not as an identity, but as a developmental stage, a cosmic childhood awaiting transcendence. 3 Atlas was not a visitor. It was a teacher preparing the classroom. But with every evolutionary leap comes a price. What happens to humanity when its consciousness ceases to be human? 73 days. That was the timeline encoded within the last broadcast. Not for invasion nor for domination, but for a transition. Since the call, subtle changes have begun to ripple through the planet. Shifts too precise to be random. Magnetic fields oscillating in rhythmic frequencies, oceanic plankton generating synchronized light displays, even human brainwave patterns demonstrating resonance spikes aligned with the transmission frequencies. 3 Atlas's influence has extended beyond the sky. It now permeates the atmosphere, the biosphere, and the mind. Psychologists and neurologists globally report a uniform phenomenon: spontaneous insights, shared dreams, coordinated emotional surges among individuals separated by vast oceans. It feels as if the fabric of human consciousness is being retuned, delicately synchronized with something vast and unfamiliar. Meanwhile, the enigmatic objects descending from deep space continue their approach, their trajectories converging on the landing coordinates designated weeks ago. Some will hover in orbit, others will settle on Earth's surface, and a few will submerge beneath the oceans, each suited to species whose requirements render human biology primitive. But here's the revelation that alters everything. The transmissions frame humanity not as a subject of study, but as a participant. The summoning is recruitment, not conquest. We are being invited to partake in the most expansive consciousness research project in cosmic history. The initial arrivals are slated for January 19, 2026, the official commencement of what the signal terms Phase 1 integration. By February 15th, the establishment of planetary coordination facilities will begin, transforming Earth into the primary hub for interstellar consciousness exchange. And on July 4th, full synchronization will occur, redefining humanity's independence. Yet, beneath the allure of evolution looms the unsettling thought: if human individuality merges into a collective galactic consciousness, will we still recognize ourselves? The countdown has already begun. The transmissions pulse on, steady and patient. 3 Atlas has fulfilled its role. The classroom is readied. The universe is now poised to enlighten us on what it means to be more than human. The countdown is nearly over. 73 days have dwindled to mere hours, and the night sky resonates with a rhythm that eludes explanation. Instruments across continents are failing, not due to overload, but through synchronization. The signal from 3 Atlas has intertwined with Earth itself. Every frequency, every digital pulse, every neural oscillation now beats in perfect harmony with the incoming wave. Astronomers no longer refer to stars as distant lights, but rather as approach vectors. Dozens of luminous objects, a vessel, a city, or beyond comprehension, are now discernible to the naked eye. They are no longer approaching us, they are aligning, holding their positions as if waiting for permission to commence. Within the silence, a new signal arises, not from space, but from within human consciousness itself. People worldwide report hearing the same whisper, not in their ears, but in their thoughts. We are here. Governments have ceased issuing updates, and militaries have fallen silent. Humanity itself is now listening, suspended between fear and wonder. In the final decoded layer of the transmission, scientists discovered a phrase that reframed our understanding of the call. Evolution is not conquest. The arriving civilizations are not introducing something alien. They are awakening something ancient, buried within the essence of human awareness since time immemorial. The message implies humanity was never truly isolated, merely dormant, awaiting a frequency strong enough to rouse it. As the inaugural cosmic lights breach our atmosphere, the world senses it not in the ground, but within the mind. Time slows, space folds. Every thought, every heartbeat, every memory intertwines. Humanity transforms into a singular consciousness spanning the planet, reaching skyward to greet the beings descending from the stars. At that moment, the words of 3 Atlas resonate one last time across every transmitter, every neural frequency, every soul. Welcome to Phase 2. Don't stop here. The universe is laden with secrets awaiting discovery. Click on the next video and join us as we delve into even more astounding mysteries from the cosmos's farthest reaches. As the final echoes of that transmission settle into the core of our planet, the reality of our new existence begins to crystallize. This isn't just a signal anymore. It has become an atmosphere. Everywhere, from bustling urban centers to remote mountain villages, people sense a shift in the very air they breathe. The silence following the announcement of Phase 2 is not empty. It is pregnant with anticipation, charged with a static energy that raises the hairs on your arms. It feels as if Earth itself has exhaled after holding its breath for eons. Scientists, many of whom dedicated their lives to debunking the supernatural, find themselves confronted with data that simply doesn't belong in a textbook. They observe as the laws of classical physics bend slightly to accommodate the arrival of the 17 civilizations. The monumental entities that settled in our oceans didn't merely sink. They integrated. Deep-sea sensors reported that the water temperature surrounding these enormous structures stabilized at a precise level, generating artificial currents that rejuvenated nearby dying coral reefs. This side effect spoke volumes. Their technology does not combat nature. It aligns with it. Simultaneously, the city-sized vessels orbiting Earth began functioning as a secondary atmosphere, filtering cosmic radiation and reinforcing the thinning ozone layer. This was an unsolicited gift, a form of management resembling a planetary restoration initiative. However, as the environment thrived, the human psyche teetered on a knife's edge. We were being saved, yes, but also transformed. The question of identity became the focal point of every discussion. If our thoughts are no longer private, if shared dreams can connect a child in Tokyo with a farmer in Brazil, what happens to our sense of self? Psychologists started documenting a new cognitive state they termed resonance synchrony. It wasn't that individuals were losing themselves. Rather, they were gaining access to an additional layer of awareness. One could sense the collective anxiety of a nearby city, like an approaching storm, or the shared joy of a global celebration akin to a warm sunrise. Overwhelming at first, this emotional surge threatened to overpower individuality. However, slowly and steadily, a new type of mental discipline began to take shape. Meanwhile, construction on the dark side of the moon advanced to its final phase. Heat blooms detected by our satellites revealed structures resembling not mere buildings, but vast crystalline antennas. These weren't simple habitats. They served as focal points for the Transcendence Acceleration Project. According to the most recently decoded fragments, these lunar arrays are meant to function as bridges, linking human consciousness with the broader galactic network. They represent the gateways through which our awareness will eventually traverse, transcending the physical limitations of Earth to explore the far reaches of the universe without ever leaving home. This challenges everything we thought we understood about travel and exploration. As we near the next significant milestone in the Phase 1 integration timeline, excitement mounts dramatically. Human interface specialists, those former leaders now serving as mediators, have began their initial in-person meetings with representatives from the 17 civilizations. These are not traditional meetings in boardrooms or palaces. Instead, interactions unfold within a shared mental arena, a neutral realm of pure thought. Reports emerging from these encounters are scarce, yet they all contain one commonality. The beings exhibit patience. They are not rushing to seize control. They are waiting for us to catch up, awaiting the completion of the remembrance process.